Hello and welcome to what I call the Grape Jelly Library. My name is Flo and today we are going to talk about 4 books. The first book we are going to talk about is The Secret World of Sex Witches by Musadora, and her gotchis don't quite fit her, so I'm just gonna do like that. All right, so let's get into this book. This book is the strangest book I have ever read in my life. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If you have an inquiring mind, or if you are a nosy reader, I am not a nosy neighbor. I am a nosy reader. I want to know what you're reading, and I want to know what ever it is that you are reading. I want to know what it's about. So my nosiness brought this book to me, and now I am passing it on to Michael Romeo Talks Books. He is the next participant in this cursed book tour. It's definitely twisted. Definitely twisted. I'm going to leave it up to the boys and the other girls to do the review on this, because they're just going to do a better job than I'm going to be able to do with this, because I'm a little bit shy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit shy. All right. The first book that I finished reading is Glossy by Marissa Meltzer, and this is a brand that is aimed towards the millennials. Generation Z latched onto this coveted brand. They do categorize themselves as cosmetic / tech, and they did start with a blog, and it was called Into the Gloss, and from there they grew their product line. And I was watching another booktuber, and oddly enough she was a millennial, and I do not remember who that booktuber was, but she said if you wanted to know what she smelled like on any given day, it would be Glossier. And I loved the bottle, so I was like, you know what, let me give it a try. Sight unseen, I ordered it online, came in the mail. I was a little taken aback at the bubble wrap. The perfume actually comes in bubble wrap with a red rubber band around it. And I was so afraid to, like, what am I getting into? It's not cheap, but it's not that expensive either. But it is also money that I didn't want to just throw down the drain if I didn't like the way that it smelled. So very nervously, I gave my wrists a little spritz, and lo and behold, it turned out to be the most delightful, scrumptious, wonderful scent I have ever smelled in my life. And I was a believer. So from that day forth, I made sure to always have a bottle on hand and a bottle in the wings. Now they have other cosmetic products, but I cannot vouch for them because I have not tried them. And I do not have a desire to go down that path. I was just curious enough about the perfume. And Bullseye, man, they really nailed that scent. So this book tells about the ins and outs of the company, how it came to be, Emily Weiss, how she's not like that uppity person that many people believe that she is. She was, for the most part, a sneaker, jeans, t-shirt wearing kind of gal. That's my kind of gal, my aesthetic. I could be seen sporting that look on any given day of my life, because it's what I feel most like me in. So I could very much relate to her in that sense. She was on a program, I think it was called The Hills. Now, I've never seen one single episode of that program, nor will I be referencing it. Oh, this is what I like. I like the business mind. I like the go-getters of the world. At 15 years old, Emily Weiss, the CEO of this company, before she became even anything to do with this company, obviously she's 15 years old. Okay, she's babysitting for the neighbor of Ralph Lauren, and she was well aware of that. And she said, you know, I really like your kids, but I would really love a job at Ralph Lauren. At 15 years old, she knew what she wanted. She was bold enough to ask for it, and she was lucky enough to get that. Was it luck? Do we really get what we ask for? Does the squeaky wheel really get the oil? Well, she landed that position, and they were like so impressed with this young lady. She had a very good business mind, but she was not perfect. And she would say that even as she got older and was in the business for years, she would say, I know some things about business and some things I don't know about business. And when I know about business, I execute. And what I don't know about business, I hire someone who does to teach me. I'm really down with that. I dig that. What I'm not down with is some of the antics that went on within the company. I mean, when you're putting fresh flowers in every lavatory of that business and your employees are feeling so slighted that they're no longer appreciating the beauty in the flower, they are thinking diabolical thoughts. Minnie is the woman that wanted to just put those flowers in their palm and just crush them. So obviously there was some things that were amiss in the business and the way that it was being run. Nonetheless, it was a great read. I did enjoy it. I wasn't bored, that's for sure. Okay, now enough of that. Let's move on to let's move on to Stephen King, Holly. Now, I am only vaguely familiar with Stephen King's works. I've never really delved into the horror side of book reading, aside from spooky season, but not with an author who is a repeat, like, I don't want to say offender because I didn't do anything wrong, but you know what I'm saying, who wrote numerous books. They say King is the king. The book It. It's over there. It. I read that book last year. I tried to read it the year before, and I failed miserably. I started off, oh, what a journey that was. I'll just tell you really quick. I ordered the book. It came to me like wrinkled and crinkly. And I can't have a book like that. No, I don't like that. I don't like dog ears. I'm a book snob. I like to keep my books as pristine as possible. So anyways, I wasn't liking the way that the condition of this book arrived, so I gave it to my nephew. All right, now, and plus I've heard so many things that it's like so super scary. I was like, I'm not brave enough to go there. And then I was like, you know what? A couple weeks later, I was like, you know what? Try again. Okay, I'm gonna do this again. So I did buy it, and then I probably got like 10, 12 chapters in, and I was out of there. I abandoned ship. It's such a big book. Who has time for that? But anyways, just put the kibosh to it. I ain't reading this anymore. I'm going to waste, it's going to take me forever to get through this book. So I just didn't finish it. Well, next year, spooky season came and the guilt set in. Like, why? Oh, why can't I just read this? So I downloaded a copy of it and I listened audibly to it. And I would listen and then sometimes read along with the book, or sometimes just drive in the car and listen. But I managed to get through it and I wasn't that impressed. I wasn't scared. Wasn't a Stephen King fan. Although I do recall there were moments in the book that made me laugh because of the way that Stephen King uses his wordage, the way that he can construct a sentence and the specific words that he uses to get his idea across made me laugh. I can vividly recall that. This time around when I was reading Holly, that was true. Same thing was true. He makes me laugh with the way that he talks, his ideas. So this is my second Stephen King book, and I love this cover. It is stunning. You get an A+ for that, Stevie. Am I allowed to be so comfortable with him referring to him as Stevie when I'm only 2 books in? Shouldn't I wait until I'm at least 10 of his books in to get a little more comfortable with him? Well, anyways, I just can't, I'm sorry, I just cannot get past this cover. I love it. It is like, if I had to rate a book cover, this would be it for me. This is just fabulous. Fabulous. All right, so what did I think about this book? Well, aside from all of the many, many references of COVID, this book takes place during the time of the pandemic. So aside from that, you are not going to hear me utter one bad word. I love this book, and I especially loved the character Holly. I loved her, and you know, I am aware now that she was in previous books, but I have not read. So this is my first introduction to Holly, and I really dig her vibe. I like her personality. I like that she's so charming and easygoing, and she has her faults, but she talks to God, and she tries to be a better person on the daily. She says her prayers. I really, really appreciate who Holly is. All right, so we have Holly, who is a private investigator, and she's investigating a disappearance. We also have, oh, brilliant, an elderly couple who are killers. But who would suspect the elderly couple, right? Oh my goodness. Why they are doing what they are doing. Do not read this if you are faint of heart. I'm not even going to kid you. When I first found out why they were doing what they were doing, I was like, ew, gross. And it is. It is definitely an ill gross. But anyways, loved the book. I do highly recommend. This book made a Stephen King believer out of me. So I will definitely be reading more of his works. If you haven't put your toe in the water as far as the Stephen King book goes, take my advice, if you will. Do not start off with it. That is not the book to start off with. Start off with whatever book you choose. You know, you can take a stab in the dark like I did, and I chose it because I like a challenge, but that was not the right move. I see that now in hindsight. And like I said, even though I didn't know any reference to Holly prior to this book, I didn't really need to in order to jive with her vibe. So I don't think that you will need to either. It's a perfect spooky season read. Now, in browsing my local bookstore, I found this cute, adorable, oh my goodness, little butter bookmark. Who doesn't want a butter bookmark? I was standing in the checkout, and they have all their novelties, you know, to catch your eye, all that glitters just sparkling before your eyes. And I zoomed in on this butter bookmark, and I said, I better buy the butter. And I did, and I love it. And if I should make it up there anytime soon, I'm going to buy more. I never ever need another bookmark so long as there is a butter bookmark. All right, so let's get into this book. My very first, oh, isn't this wonderful? I'm tapping into authors that I have never explored before. My very next read is my very first read by author Agatha Christie, and it is called Halloween Party. And let me tell you, I am a sucker for Halloween, and I am a sucker for a Halloween party. Many is the Halloween party we had as children. Many is the Halloween party we went to as children. And I am just gobbling this book up. I just started it yesterday. I am 3 chapters in, and I turned the lights on in the library. They are going a little dim. I'm going to be replacing those batteries. I turned the lights on in the library because I plan on spending some time up here devouring this one. So, you know, once I'm finished with this, you know I'm coming at you with a full-on review of it. Have you read this? Have you read this book before? I'm telling you, the price is right. And if you don't know what spooky season book you should be reading, this is not a book to overlook. So super fun. So freaking fun. Loving it with all my might. So, did I just give away any spoilers as far as what I think of this book? It's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But oh my goodness. She has written, whew, she's written all of that. Look at that. Ah, my goodness. I think Agatha's going to be my girl. Steinbeck is my boy. I think Agatha's going to be my girl. Until my next video, know that I love you. Be well, be good, be reading, and may all your book dreams come true.